Hi, I'm Staffan. I'm the author of the Monotasking book and I'm also the creator of the Monotasking method. Let me tell you a story about a guy called Warren. Warren was a very rich guy, so he had his own airplane and he also hired his own pilot. The pilot was called Mike. One day, Warren said to Mike, "Hey Mike, can you write down a list of your 25 top career goals?" And Mike, he went home and wrote down his 25 top career goals, and then he went back to Warren and said, "Hey Warren, here is my 25 top career goals." Then Warren said, "Now that you have 25 career goals listed, can you circle the top 5 of these 25? Can you circle the top 5? Okay, so Mike said, "Well, this will be hard because they are all important, but I will try." And the next day, guess what? Mike came back and he had circled the top 5, the best 5, the most important career goals out of these 25. So then Warren said, "Now, what will you do with these 20, the other 20, those that you didn't circle?" And Mike said, "Well, they are important as well, so I'll probably spend less time on these, but I will find some way to fulfill these 20 as well." Warren said, "No, Mike, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong. Until you have completed the top 5, you should put the other 20 on your avoid at all cost list. Avoid at all cost list. Don't spend any time on these 20. This is sometimes called the Pareto rule, the rule of Pareto, or the Pareto principle. And sometimes it's called the 80-20 rule. Minority of the causes are creating a majority of the effects. 20% of the causes are creating 80% of the effects. I've written a new book. It's called Monotasking, and it describes a method that's called monotasking. And this new book is based on research. The method is very, very easy to follow. It's very easy to start with. You know that many methods for productivity, for personal productivity, they're based on very complicated rules and strong willpower. You need to be disciplined all the time to succeed. However, I found something called natural flow productivity. Natural flow productivity. It means that this method accepts the human nature. The method takes advantage, based on research, as I said, it takes advantage of the great human ability of intuition. And when we take advantage of our intuition, we don't need the willpower. We will get the natural flow productivity anyway. We will get the force, a natural force that makes us productive. So it's designed to be easy to start with and easy to follow and fulfill the rules. So let's say that you're a person, or you probably are a person since you're listening to this, that had many, many important commitments. And all these commitments are circulating in your brain. And it's hard for you to focus on one thing, on the most important thing, or the most important things, because there's so many things to think about all the time. So let me tell you another story about a girl called Bluma Zeigarnik. She lived in Berlin in the 1920s. She was a researcher in psychology, and she had a lot of friends that were also researchers in psychology. And every day, or almost every day, they went to the coffee shops of Berlin. There they sat discussing the latest research on psychology. They ordered tea and cookies, eating and drinking, and then discussing, and then ordering more tea and more cookies. And in the afternoon, they wanted to pay. So they said, "Hey waiter, we want to pay. We want to pay our bill." And the waiter said, "Okay, you ordered this and this and this and that, and you have to pay this much." And this was very interesting for Bloom and her friends. This was very provocative for a group of psychologists. How could the waiter remember everything they ordered, even though he didn't take notes? They ordered and they filed some sub-orders later, and he remembered everything. Okay, so they did a little experiment. The next day, they sat there, ordered things, discussed, and in the afternoon they say, "Hey, we want to pay." The waiter came, he said you had to pay this much, they paid it, but then they stayed for half an hour more. And after half an hour they said, "Hey waiter, can you tell us what did we order before and paid for half an hour ago?" What do you think the waiter answered? Well, the waiter said, "I have no idea. I don't know. I dropped that information. You have already paid. I don't need to keep that in my head." And this is very important. If we can cut down on the things that we want to do, all the tasks that we have committed to, then it will be easier to focus on the most important tasks. But if we have hundreds of tasks that we want to do in our backlog, then they will come up and disturb us all the time. So we can't focus because they are disturbing us. One tool explained in the monotasking method is the shortlist. The shortlist is you use a pen and a paper and you write down the 5 most important tasks right now. The 5 most important tasks right now that you can do right now. So not tasks that you can't do right now, you need to do them tomorrow. And not tasks that you need to talk with someone to do, or you need some special tools, or things that is just urgent but not important. Don't put them on the shortlist. These are the top 5, at most 5, could be 3 or 4 things that you can do right now. Then you take your smartphone and put an alarm on the next half or full hour. So if the clock is 9:10, then you put the alarm on 9:30. Then you pick one from the shortlist, one thing from the shortlist, and focus on that one and only that one until the alarm goes. The alarm is called the panorama cue. This focus period is called monotasking. You're focusing on one thing. Monotasking means focus on one task. When the alarm goes off, the panorama cue, you get into the panorama mode. Panorama mode means that you look out over all the tasks that you might do, the candidates for the next session, the monotasking session. You look on the shortlist, you see these 5 tasks. You might have completed one and added another, but you're not allowed to have more than 5. And then you pick one, set the panorama cue alarm, and start a new monotasking session. You get the rhythm. You switch between monotasking and panorama. That is focus, priority, focus, priority, focus, priority. Making sure that you're always doing the most important thing right now. There's a lot of other things described in the monotasking book. Something called weeding and the grass catcher list. Something called creative walk, and a lot of other tools that are very easy to follow but really powerful. So, I hope you will benefit from this book, that it will make you much more productive, and that the natural flow productivity will serve you well. Thank you for listening, and we'll get in touch. Bye.